What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping back by for yet another episode of Binge and Snatch. And today, of course, we're going to be getting down to the nitty-gritty of episode 4 of Tell Me Lies season 2. I'm so excited to continue to, unfold these episodes with you guys. I've really been enjoying myself. I don't know about y'all, but I have. But please comment. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know how you're liking it. Let me know how you're liking the show so far. What are your thoughts? How do you think? What do you think of it? So, yeah, I want to hear. I want your feedback. We're going to be jumping into this look right here. Got a little purple moment going on for you. So, if you'd like to know how I achieved this look, let's go ahead and binge while we get snatched. So, today we're going in with our Midnight palette by Beauty Bay. I have used this on my channel plenty of times before, and if you could just take in the beauty once again. We'll be going in with these purpley colors, not so much the shimmers, but the purple matte colors I'll be using. I'm just going to go with the aesthetic for the look today. And I'm going to go in and start with our transition, of course. I think I'm going to start with the shade Rich right here. Take that in above the crease. I might mix the two here. Just to take these two as well. See if I can get a better shade than what the one shade was giving off. And that's Iris is that color. And yeah, that's a lot better. Let's go in with what I'm going full. Wrigley couldn't have came up with a better lie than that. I mean, we know full well that Wrigley is not going to law school, okay? I'm sorry. No diss to Wrigley, but sort of. Like, really? We could have came up with something else. But I get it. He was trying to flex in front of Peppa's dad once he caught on to the fact that she hasn't told him that they're not together anymore. So he was trying to help her out and trying to do it in the best way possible. So I get it. But I was like, really, Wrigley? Really? And I'm just blending that out as best I can. We don't want any harsh lines. And I am going in the crease with it too, just so it can be well blended out once we add the darker shade, which is pretty much black. And I'm so here for the wisdom that Oliver is instilling in Bree. She does have a lot of things that she could brush up on when it comes to her personally. She takes a lot of shit, and she never really, claps back at anybody when people have an opinion about her or anything, within her friend group. So I like the idea of him instilling that wisdom in her, you know what I'm saying? But is Bree, finding out how great Marion really is? Is she finally seeing what Lucy sees in her? Because I feel like she is. Obviously she is, because, she told Lucy, hey, I get what you see in her. But is that going to create a problem for Bree continuing on this affair that she has with her husband? Because she can't take the fact that the woman is a goddess? My guess is it's going to hurt the affair that's going on between her and Oliver in the long run. Because you always expect the guy to break it off, the husband or the wife that's in the actual relationship with someone else. But in this situation, it might be Bree. We'll see how that pans out. And I'm just going to give this one sweep of a clean brush just to make sure it's all blended. And now we're going to go in with this cosmetic base by P. Louise in the shade, what is this shade? It's pretty much a black. And I like to lay this down sometimes when I'm doing when the majority of my eye look is black. I like to lay this down first because it just makes the black way more pigmented. Rather than just going in with the actual eyeshadow, it just makes it so much more stark. I'm just going to go in and blend that out. Taking it all the way to the crease. I'm just going to take some on this brush here. I was not expecting Brie to say anything this soon to anyone. And I had a feeling, you know, if she said anything to anybody, it would be Lucy, just because Lucy knows Marion. It wouldn't really make much sense for her to, like, blab it to anybody else. I just wasn't expecting her to say anything just yet, you know? And see, this is precisely why I do my eyes before I do my base, because sometimes things can get a little messy. If you are a base before the eyes type of girl, and you've never tried to do your eyes first, I highly recommend it. Just because when you have instances like these, or if you're doing glitter or heavily pigmented shimmer or anything like that, or you get a lot of fallout on an eyeshadow, it's so much easier to clean up. Alright, now I'm going to go in with this black shade called Hex right here. And we're going to take that on top of the pigment we just put down. Do you see how stark that black is? Like, woskis. That is what we want. Pigment galore. And it wouldn't have been this pigmented had we just put down the eyeshadow. I'm going to go back in with that initial brush. And I'm not going to take any more product on it just yet. I'm just going to go and blend this out. Do you see the difference? Blended, not blended. It just makes a world of difference to just make sure you don't have any harsh lines. That way it doesn't just look like you just slapped it on your face and left it there, you know? I'm going to go back in with a little more purple. Just to add the pigment again. I'm just going back in with a little more black. And that's the thing about blending. Like I said, you lose the pigment once you start to blend it out. So you have to go back and forth between the colors just to keep everything in an even match. If that makes sense. I'm just going to go back in with that clean brush to give it one last sweep. Alright, we're going back to the eyes. Now we're going to move on. I'm going to go in with the Shine Killer Primer by NYX. Just because I'm going to use a foundation that I have not used in a long time. And I forgot why I stopped using it. So I'm just going to humor myself and see exactly why. But I know it's a matte finish foundation, so just wanted to lay a matte primer down to coincide. And it is the IRL Filter Longwear Foundation by Makeup Revolution, and it is in the shade F16. Ooh, forgot how thick this stuff was. I'm gonna go in with this brush to blend it out. It might have been the shade, because it is rather light. I mean, it is among the lightest of the foundation that I have in my collection, so that might have been the reason. But nonetheless, we can always make it work. Lucy, why were we waiting to sleep with Leo? Girl, you are half naked on the bed already. Might as well go for it. Both of y'all were. So, what's the problem? And maybe she told herself, I want to do things differently this time. I'm going in with the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced in the shade Maple. And Lucy's a little paranoid, huh? Because everything she was spouting Leo's way. Oh, why do you have condoms? I'm on the pill. I mean, you never mentioned your ex-girlfriend. Wanting to have angry sex, which is not... That's not surprising to me, because obviously we know the last relationship she was in. She may be a little too paranoid in this instance, because... Obviously Leo has things going on with him too, and she didn't really take into consideration his plight and his stance on, you know, things. So I'm glad they were able to come to an agreement. Or, you know, to an understanding at least. I'm still curious to see exactly how far Leo's temper is going to go when it comes to Lucy. I don't think we've seen the last of it. So I'm going to go on with this LYS bronzer, matte bronzer in the shade Worthy Deep. And it is their No Limits matte bronzer. It's pretty dark, so I wanted to go in with something darker than what I normally use, just so it can balance out. Since we have a lighter foundation on today. I'm just gonna go in and whisk that away. Just gonna go in with some setting spray to soak the rest of that powder up if there's any left. So I want to say Lucy's a great friend for not judging Brie when she came to her about her and Oliver having an affair. And she was. I'm not saying that she wasn't a good friend for not judging her. Guess she was, but she's still a shitty friend for doing what she did to Evan. I can't forget about that. I don't know about y'all, but I can't forget about that. So because of that, she's still a shitty friend to Brie for doing that to her, even though she don't know about it yet. I can't give her an immense amount of credit for not judging her friend. She didn't judge her, but she's still a shitty friend. Alright, so we're gonna go in with this, the Saharian palette Blush Volume 1 by Juvia's Place. Do not judge me. This palette is old and it's been through some stuff, but that's what it looks like. But it still works, nonetheless. And I'm just gonna go in with a blush brush. I'm gonna take just a small bit of this Abby shade because I want it to be purpley, but I don't want it to be too dark, so that's why I'm going in a little light-handed. I'm gonna go back in with to the eyes, and I'm gonna take this eyeliner from ColourPop and in the shade Swerve, and it's pretty much this potted eyeliner. Sometimes it's a lot easier to use than a regular eyeliner, so. Going back to Brie and Oliver for a second, why did Oliver have to apologize? Why did he need to apologize? I'm just confused. So the math is not mathing for me because, like he said, he did not know that that was the class that she was in. So, what's the problem here? I didn't really see the point. I'm going back into that purple. There's two purple shades. And taking it on the lower lash line. Magnifico! I'm really loving this look so far. I think I'm going to go in the inner corner with some shimmer. This one right here. Jellies. I'm actually going to mix the two. Jellies and Mystic. Just taking that right in the inner corner. So I think Steven might have a little PTSD, no? I don't feel sorry for him. I don't know about y'all, but I do not have a lick of sympathy for him. His master manipulation tactics never ceases to amaze me. I swear it doesn't. You know good and well that's not the biggest regret you have is cheating on your ex-girlfriend. Or, sorry, cheating on your current girlfriend. He knows just what to say to make her feel good. I'm just forgetful today. I forgot about highlighter, so we're gonna go in with my Choice palette by Ace Beauty, and I think I'm gonna take this shade here, Radiant, and take it on the nose and just a little on the cheeks. Not going too crazy with it. I lied. We're gonna go in with the shade Poppin'. Just take that on top. It has a little purple in it. I like it. Alright you guys, so I got my eyelashes on. Now I'm gonna go in. I know about what I want to do with my lips, but it's kinda gonna be a trial and error situation, so I'm gonna start off by going with this cream lipstick by NYX in the shade Oh Put It On. It's been a minute since I've worn this, but I love it so much. Nice vampy look. We're back, guys. My battery died, so we're back in effect. So I got that first lipstick on. Now I'm gonna go on with the NYX liquid lipstick in the shade Subversive Socialite. Wow, that's a mouthful. I'm just gonna go a little in the middle here. Now this is just like a little slightly brighter shade of purple. Now I'm gonna go with some concealer. I think I'm gonna take this Makeup by Mario concealer in the shade 380, and I'm just gonna take some of my finger and just go in the center here. I think that's a bit much. But I'm gonna go in with a brush to kind of like help blend it out and probably take some off too. Diana and Steven love to refer to Brie, Peppa, and Lucy as those sophomore girls, huh? Like that's their new name? It just brings so much trouble. And I think I'm gonna leave it matte because it just goes with the aesthetic, right? I mean, hello. I'm just gonna give our face one last spritz with this Continuing Setting Spray by Morphe. I absolutely love when the spotlight is on Steven. I don't know about y'all, but I like when it seems like it's getting closer to someone finding out about his truth. You know what I'm saying? And Diana is fairly close right now. Wrigley questioning the note. Not in an obvious way that Wrigley's getting close, but anybody asking questions about, you know, why something happened due to Steven's actions when it comes to Macy, when it comes to Wrigley's brother, anything of that sort. I love, because it means that it's getting closer to him being outed. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, if Diana, her deleting those photos makes me fearful that she's going to help Steven in covering his bullshit up. And if that happens, I'm going to be super annoyed at her. Her being a good person is going to go straight out the window. She's going to be on the Joffrey Baratheon list with her boo. For me. If she is going to call herself helping him. I was like, why did she delete them? What is she doing? We'll see how that pans out. That is it for today, you guys. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. I will see you very soon next week for another episode of Binge and Snatch.